Hey YouTube, this is React City. I'm Vic.
I'm Rose.
I'm Nikki.
And this is Death Note episode 8. So last time we had a very sad episode with the death of,
Her name.
Her.
What was her name?
The fiance.
I was thinking of saving this for the podcast, so I won't get too into it, but that character is very interesting with what the author was doing with her. But for the story-wise, she was the first truly innocent character
That he's killed.
Mm-hmm. So is anything you think about that?
I immediately, he was like ready to kill any policeman that was gaining on him, so I was not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna take her out because his goal right now is to just protect his godness, you know. So anything that gets in his way, like in the beginning, it was just justice against evil people, what he claimed was evil, but it spiraled very quickly.
This girl who's been going over and over to try and get into contact with the investigators at headquarters, she's like, okay, I'll be back in a bit. Let me leave with this guy, you know, one of the people being investigated in this case, leaves and kills herself.
That is true. But the clincher is also so far they're 100% sure that he can only kill with
By a
heart
heart
attacks.
attack. Yeah, that's the only thing, and that's what she was going to bring to light if she had talked to Elle.
Well, so guys, thank you guys very much for being here. Guys, if you like your time here, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And remember, check out the Patreon description if you guys want to see the next episode a week early, or you want access to the podcast / uncut version of any show that we have here. As well, remember that we have a TikTok and a Reels channel that is now operated by Nikki. She uploads funny shorts made of our reactions. Thank you very much. See you in discussion.
He boards a train on the five-day line. But even if he was following someone at that time,
He has a whole
it's gonna be
tub.
very difficult for us to draw any real conclusions from this blurry video. Oh, thank you very much, Watari.
It's like, why don't I get one?
He exits the train at Tokyo Station and dies on the platform.
Yes.
Yes.
Quite strange, don't you think?
I'm sorry, what do you find?
Yeah, why does he have a triple scoop?
What is it? Did you notice something?
Something about Ray.
He's holding what looks like an envelope when he passes through the ticket gate.
Where is he? I can't see him.
You're right.
He's right
It's
there.
there under his arm. But in the footage right before his death, it's gone. I can't believe you actually caught that.
Of course.
It seems like he's straining to look inside the train before the doors close. You can see right here. There's no reason for Kira to come to the scene of his own crime when he can kill from a distance. Well, maybe he was counting on us to make that assumption and figured he could get away with such a bold move.
His pupils are totally dilated. She's like, sugar!
You haven't stopped writing criminals' names in the death note for 4 days straight.
Whoa.
So what are you trying to prove?
Suppose the son of the detective superintendent of the NPA was hospitalized. If criminals stopped dying at the same time, it wouldn't be difficult to connect the two.
So that's what this is.
Are you sure that I can use any date as long as it's before the end of a person's predetermined lifespan?
Well, I can't guarantee it because we Shinigami don't normally work that way. But I suppose any time before the end of their lifespan should work.
I really can't count on you, can I?
No.
You got that right.
Everyone, at this point I'd like to focus our investigation on only those people who Ray Pember was tailing.
Oh.
In particular, he was assigned to 2 police officers and those closest to him.
Very well, who are these two
Well,
individuals?
Deputy Director Kitamura, along with Detective Superintendent Yagami and their families. At this stage, I'd like to place wiretaps and surveillance cameras in both households. I have to make sure there's no evidence left on this computer, just in case someone goes through it.
Crash my computer. Delete system 32.
No.
Chief, I don't have to tell you how offended I am to learn my family is under suspicion. Having said that, just go ahead with it. And make sure you install them everywhere. I don't want any blind spots in the house, and that includes the bathroom.
Thank you very much. That was my intention.
Come on, Chief. You don't have to agree to this.
Yes, he's right. Think about your family. You have a wife and daughter at home, don't you?
Yes, I'm well aware of that fact. But there is no point in doing any of this if we can't be thorough. Now I suggest you keep quiet.
That's a good police chief right there.
And he's also very tired.
Excuse me.
Oh,
What? trust him.
The trap he set up.
He can't talk to him. He knows someone's.
Hey, Light.
I don't believe it. I never knew he went to such great lengths. What could he be hiding in there that he doesn't want anyone else to see?
For a 17-year-old kid, I wouldn't say this kind of behavior is particularly abnormal. When I was his age, I did strange things too. Never talked to his.
When that door is closed, the door handle automatically returns to a horizontal position, and it won't go any higher than that. But whenever I close the door, I adjust it slightly. Instead of letting it sit horizontally, I lower it by about 5 millimeters. When I get home and I try to open the door, if the handle is all the way up, I can be fairly certain that someone was in my room.
Bruh.
That method alone doesn't tell me if my door was actually open.
Once the apple's in my mouth, no one can see it. But while I'm holding it, it looks like it's floating.
I thought so. So I guess it will kill you to stop eating apples for a while.
Don't you think that's a bit much? Come on. I
Smiling.
never told you this, but apples are to me what cigarettes and alcohol are to humans.
Oh.
Do you see what I'm saying? I even get
It's like I need my fix.
Oh yeah? What kind of symptoms?
My body gets all twisted. I do handstands. It's not pretty.
I don't need to see that.
I need to see that.
Okay. You'll have to find out where all the cameras are hidden. If you're lucky, you might find a blind spot where you can eat them without being seen.
Oh.
Make him work for him.
Yeah, a camera search.
He's like, I gotta find the cameras.
So interesting. Oh, okay.
Oh, he's
That's his reason for the door.
I have to find the cameras.
I can't believe my son is looking at those magazines.
He's like,
It's too obvious. The only reason he didn't want anyone in his room was because he had his magazine. That's what he wants us to think.
Hey, that's my son you're talking about. Are you honestly telling me that you suspect him?
I do suspect him. That's why I placed wiretaps and surveillance cameras in your house and the deputy director's house.
makes sense.
Man, these covers mislead you all the time. No. Given the situation, safer the prime suspect and
It's
the
like
only
goes back
one
to
being
acting.
watched. It'll be okay. Luckily, I prepared for this kind of situation.
He has a whole bunch of them.
Oh, Light.
He's like, I'm so disappointed in you, son.
Huh? What's this? ICPO? They're saying that in response to the Kira murders, Interpol has decided to dispatch a force of 1,500 investigators to Japan.
Peter, if you ask me, this is nothing more than a desperate attempt to shock Kira in the hopes that he'll reveal himself somehow. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if Kira sees right through this.
Ugh. Light.
Your son's clever, isn't he?
Oh, well, yes.
I think that's it, Light. I found every camera they put in the house. I guess Shinigami get tired when they work hard.
Oh,
There
wow.
sure are a lot of cameras in this room. I counted 64 in total. I guess whoever put them here expected you to at least find some of them.
Judging by the number of cameras he's planted, he's planning to make a decision within a short period of time. Any normal person would slip under these circumstances, but it won't be that easy.
He's like, I'm not a normal person.
This is the closest you can get.
What the heck?
He's laughing too. What?
I've set things
It's
up
like it's
so
a
the
good
criminals
bag
will
of
continue to
potato
die over the
chips.
next-
Oh, the symptoms are starting!
I'm gonna show you, Elle. With Ryuk's information and my preparations, I can continue to kill criminals whose names are broadcast on the news while masquerading as a typical high school student studying for his entrance exams. Just watch me, Elle. I'll solve equations with my right hand and write names with my left.
Oh, ambidextrous.
I'll take a potato chip and eat.
That's what I know.
Waiting for that.
And eat. Gosh.
What about the
Just a little bit
television?
longer.
The tiny TV?
Rip.
It's disposable too, it just crumples.
I
I know it's only the first day after the cameras were installed, but the Yagami household seems almost too innocent to me.
Oh no. Oh no.
Light, are you up yet?
Yeah, I'm awake.
Today's garbage day, so if you've got any, bring it down with you, okay?
I can't say for sure whether you're extremely generous or just a spoiled brat. But didn't that mini LCD TV cost you $400?
Good morning.
$400. Wow.
Making sure it goes.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
Discussion.
Alright.
So pretty much what we were talking about happened in the very beginning about how Ray's wife dying, and Elle's like, that's not right.
No.
Especially since Elle knew her.
Mm-hmm.
Folder, the file.
Yeah, so the folder was a hint that Elle, he didn't go to the conclusion yet, but that maybe he does realize that Kira may have been on the train, although he's saying it's like a long shot.
Yeah.
And then like what happened to the envelope? So he hasn't like said maybe Kira, he left the envelope for Kira, like he hasn't put it all together yet.
Mm-hmm.
But he's getting close.
Yeah.
I find it interesting. Like, that's kind of just a dead spot. Like, he may or may not be on the train. We have no way of knowing. But I feel like you could look at all the cameras footage to see who, at what point did anybody enter this train station and leave. I know there's a lot of people, of course, but I feel like there's more info that you could glean from that situation of just him. Where did he get the envelope, and why is it gone once he leaves? And then he even noticed the next step, which could be a stretch, is he looks like he's looking back in the train.
Yeah.
So.
And also, he also caught the fact that he was on the train for a very long time.
Yeah,
he said
an hour and a half.
it takes it just an hour to make its whole circuit. So that means it's like, I think the circuit means like from all the way around?
From
the whole
start
circuit?
to start again.
Mm-hmm.
From start to start.
around and back
so
to
he's
start.
basically like, why did he stay on an hour train for an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah. Though, I will say, even if they saw light on camera, they wouldn't really know, because he was wearing a disguise, kind of. He was wearing a sweatsuit and stuff.
And a whole tam and stuff.
Yeah.
Unrecognizable. And then, what's his name? The good chief did a good chief thing. He was like, go ahead and investigate my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took one for the team.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he really should, because he believes they're innocent.
Yeah.
So they should show up innocent.
Right. Unfortunately, they look too innocent. And his father is panicking. It's like, no, can't be true. Can't be true. Not my son.
Yeah. So Watery must not have noticed the broken pencil lid in the door, but he did notice the paper.
Yeah.
So that would have been very... I mean, that's super suspicious. Like, sure, he's looking at magazines and stuff, but why is he booby-trapping his door with paper?
Well, Elle said it was normal.
It is a thing that a mini alarm system that I see some people do in Japan animes.
Oh, okay.
That they like mini alarm system, put a paper in your door. So that wouldn't be too far out of the scope. But like if the pencil lead was noticed, then it'd be like, okay, this is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a double alarm system.
Yeah. And if anybody noticed, the handle is 5 centimeters too low.
Or high.
Right. I guess I'm just finding it strange that if he's just hiding the thing, it's already in a hidden spot, right? So someone entering or exiting isn't an issue if it's hidden in a spot, at least in my mind. But I guess you're saying it's a common practice?
In anime.
Not in anime, just it's not an unheard of thing to do.
Okay. And then also, when he entered his room, even though the books were on the bookshelf, he went over to the closet where it has the broken pencil thing, and he stooped down and he looked alongside the wall. So then he's like, why is he... Like, there's a lot of security measures here, you know? But,
Yeah.
And they put in 64 cameras in his room.
Just his room.
Yeah.
Just his room.
Yeah.
Man, that must have taken a long time. Although it didn't, because it was just like when everyone was at home.
4 hours?
Yeah.
Like, what, 400 cameras all around the house?
Goodness.
And then, of course, like, that was like a brilliant move to enlist, what's his name, Ryuk, to search for all the cameras, because he needs his Apple fix.
He needs his fix.
But like, there is no solution at this point until they take out all the cameras. Like,
Yeah.
he can only eat apples outside of the house.
Well, apparently he can write with his other hand in potato chip bag. So.
Now I'm talking about Ryuk eating apples, unless like he just like puts apples under his bed and let Ryuk eat them under the bed. But it doesn't look like there's an under. There might not be.
No.
And then they put up the message of 1,500 investigators. Decides to poke fun at him a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's going too far, dude.
Mm.
You're so obvious. He was like trying to be his normal self, but then I don't know why Elle still read into it. It's like,
you're
too
very clever.
innocent.
He gleaned from it that he's clever.
Clever, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, you're good at reading into actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what we've heard from Naomi, when she was talking about Elle.
Who?
Naomi, the fiancée.
Whoa, her name's Naomi.
Yeah, but from what we know of them, it seems almost that Elle has an eye for talent.
Yeah.
And so maybe just noticed like, oh, his son's got a good head.
Are you okay?
Son's got a good head on him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the music, the score, the zoom, pan, animation, they can make anything seem so intense.
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was so funny. It's like, as I eat a potato chip.
I was like, I'll take a potato chip.
Oh,
and eat it.
Yeah. It sparkles and glitters.
Yeah.
I feel like that's almost the biggest flex an animation studio could do. It's like, can you make anything better than our potato chip scene? I don't think you can.
I don't think you can. Potato chips are where it at. Right. And what's his name? Elle mentioned that he was like, why did he kill like 2 petty criminals?
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. It was just like whatever came on, honestly, for Light. It's like whatever comes on, I'm going to kill him. That was it. And he didn't think about the fact that, well, has he? Yeah, he hasn't really targeted petty criminals before. He's mostly targeted like
convicted
people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and these were like alleged cases.
Store robber, I think.
Yeah, no, an alleged like money launderer or something.
Oh, I didn't know.
And somebody else. So it's just basically 2 people who were like about to go to trial.
Maybe they did.
Maybe they did it. Yeah, 2 accused people.
Yeah,
who just showed up on the news when he couldn't possibly see the news.
Right. Yeah, it was too obvious. Mm-hmm. So that just makes him even more suspicious. So this is a thing. Like, it's one thing for Light to be out there somewhere hiding from Elle and throwing, red herrings.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to be under the eye of Elle, being watched to pass. Like, this is what I was saying from the beginning of the show. Like, I'm not sure if Light is smart enough to beat Elle. And then he did the whole bus scene, and I was like, oh, maybe he could do it. And then now that I'm seeing, like, this is like mano a mano right now, the fight going on. I don't know that Light can come out of this, but we have a lot of episodes to go, so obviously he will.
Yeah, I mean, he ate a potato chip, so...
Yeah, honestly, I feel like this episode was the first taste we get of the duel of minds. Because before this, they were kind of like...
cat and mouse.
Yeah, they had not made contact. At this point...
They're fighting directly.
It's direct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, some people have felt like it was a bit strange to find the family a bit too perfect. But I actually kind of agree with the situation. The reason is, when Elle found him in the first place, when he figured, I know that he was just testing his power abilities out, because remember the first thing that happened was a hostage situation and the guy dropped dead. In the early days, if he did do kind of small time guys, and then all of a sudden everybody big started dropping dead. So Elle knew that he had a testing period and then he was active. So if he's in his active period, why would he suddenly go back to something that he's doing in his testing period?
Yeah.
So it's a little strange. That'd be, maybe I did provoke him. So.
Yeah.
And I also want to correct something I said last episode. So the whole if you touch the notebook, you can see Ryuk and stuff like that. But there is only one person who is the owner of the Death Note.
Okay.
And the Death Note owner is the person that the Shinigami has to stay till they die. He doesn't have everybody who touches it, just the owner.
No, on the bus, when the guy touched the paper, he was like explaining to him, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to stay here until I see you die or something, whichever one comes
did
first.
He say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he said you. Okay, maybe that is what he said. Oh, okay, I thought I just looked it up and it said that only the owner.
Well, maybe it is that the owner can like control the death of people, and then once he's dead, then maybe I don't know. But
maybe
he
the
did
owner is
say,
the last person who touches it.
but that's weird because the last person that touched the paper in that case was the guy, and he died. I don't know. We can go back and hear what he actually said.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so that's all I've got. And
That's
guys.
all I've got.
All I've got. Guys, thank you guys very much for being here. And don't throw out $400 TVs. Here, guys, like time here, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. Check out the Patreon description if you guys want to see next episode a whole week early. Or check out Tier 3 if you guys want uncut version of this show, anything else that we do, or access to the podcast. And remember, we have a Reels Rejects. That's another channel. We have the Reels in the description if you guys want to see shorts made by Nikki along with a TikTok. Thank you very much. See you in the city. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
And thanks to our patrons, Deli, Robin, Run Travis, Andrew, Fizzbuzz, and Tohanist.